Hi guys and welcome back to the Mighty Blues. My name is of course Cameron and welcome back today to another live stream. It is the live game preview ahead of our Premier League fixture on Boxing Day against Burnley at Goodison Park. Carlo Ancelotti's first game in charge of Everton Football Club falls on Boxing Day, of course. Really excited for this game. Absolutely cannot wait to get down to Goodison Park. Carlo Ancelotti's had his first press conference as Everton manager, in which he briefly spoke about the game on Boxing Day. He's also spoken about some team news as well, giving a little bit of an injury update, and obviously he's had a couple of training sessions with the players, so the players should be raring to go on Boxing Day. Of course, we're playing aside in Burnley, who again been a little bit inconsistent here and there this season. They've played well at times, but they've also struggled at times as well. And notoriously, it's a game, where we either do really well in or we struggle in. Burnley obviously beating them emphatically away from home last season. But we've struggled at times against them in recent years as well. But it's a new era for Everton Football Club. It's a new era for Carlo Ancelotti. He takes charge of his first game for Everton on Boxing Day, and it's going to be really interesting to see how this one goes. After the players obviously have had their Christmas dinners and they've had all of their Christmas puddings and eggnog and all of that sort of stuff. Hopefully, I'm sure they will be ready to take on Burnley at 3 o'clock tomorrow at Goodison Park, of course, which is beneficial. You don't really talk about this an awful lot when you're talking about Boxing Day fixtures and New Year's Day fixtures. Sector is the time travelling, obviously. Now, football players are only human beings at the end of the day, so it is more beneficial that the game, on Boxing Day is a Goodison Park, because it means that, yes, okay, the players will have to come in on Christmas Day and train and, etc. and obviously work on the tactics for the next day, but they'll still get some time to go and spend with their family and spend with their friends, and that'll overall lift the moods a little bit and have the morale a little bit higher than if they were having to jump on a plane or jump on a coach on Christmas Day and spend pretty much the entire day travelling down to, I don't know, let's say Brighton, for example. Very similar on New Year's Day. I think we only play Manchester City away, so again, not a far trip to go. But anyway, listen, it's all about the game on Boxing Day. It is Christmas Eve, so I just want to say a big Merry Christmas to everybody watching. We'll have a little bit of a Christmas message out tomorrow, so if you want to check that out, if you get a spare 5 minutes, it won't be more than 5 minutes long, do check that out. But obviously we're going to talk about the game today. We're going to go through my predicted start 11 in just a second as well. Hernanda says, hello Cam, hope all is well. Merry Christmas mate, hope you're doing well yourself. How excited are you when you watch the final plans for the Bramley-Moore Stadium? All the best mate, all the best to you too. Yeah, listen, I was massively excited. It's a fantastic time to be an Evertonian at the minute, not only with the new manager coming in, but also obviously the planning permission going in for Bramley-Moore Docks yesterday. Hopefully that gets all done and dusted in the new year, and we can, crack on with putting some plans into place to get that built. Obviously, like I said, the videos themselves, if the stadium comes out even anywhere near what the videos are seeming like, and looking like anywhere near what the videos and the pictures are showing, then I'll be absolutely amazed, because they're unbelievable. Wayne says Pickford, Sidibe, Holgate, Mina, Baines, Davis, Delph, Richarlison, Sigurdsson, Kean and DCL 4-2-3-1 formation. I'll take that. I'll go through mine in just a second. Jack says Pickford, Sidibe, Kean, Mina, Delph, Dean, Davis, Sigurdsson, Richarlison, DCL and Bernard. Fair play. Sammy says, what will the score be? I'm going to go 3-1 to Everton. Jack says in a 4-3-3 formation. That's the formation I've gone for. Craig says, hi Cameron, all the best mate. Thank you very much, Craig, all the best to you too. Come on you Blues. Carl says, hello, hope you're having a good Christmas Eve. Yeah, it's not too bad mate. I've been to work today actually. Done a little bit of an half day in work. Didn't really do much, to be honest with you. Come home, wrapped all my presents, I've been to see me nan, and now obviously we're sitting down to do the live stream. Jack says hi. Josh says to pick that team as well. BJ says keep Michael Kean off the pitch. Yeah, I think, listen, I think Michael Kean struggled again last weekend, despite the fact he didn't have an awful lot. Not last weekend, sorry, the weekend before against Manchester United. I think he struggled. I think he struggled midweek as well against Leicester. So I think Carlo Ancelotti will have looked at that and will have seen that Mason Holgate and Yerry Mina have got quite a good solid defensive partnership between them, and I think that's the defensive partnership that he'll go for. Carl says Michael Kean, yes. Mitchell says how does Brand say no to a 3-time Champions League winner when they disagree on a transfer? Does he say no, or does he just agree with him? I don't know, or do they disagree? We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait for January. Sorry, says hopefully I've repeated the Boxing Day last season. Hopefully, mate, again against Burnley, a real exciting game. That was the away fixture when was it 5-1. We beat them, so hopefully, yeah, I repeated that. BJ says don't care how you spell his name, just keep him off. Carl says come on you Blues. Dave says all the best Blues. Thanks very much, Dave. Carl says Kean is better than Holgate, but Mina and Kean don't work together. Fair point. Paul says, Merry Christmas, fellow Toffees, all the best, Cammy lad. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you too, Paul, and all the best. BJ says Keane's not better than Mason. I'd agree, Keane's probably not at the minute. Samuel says, what do I think of Kean? I think he's in poor form. I think he's a confidence player, so when he's confident, I think he plays well, but when he's not confident, I think he's poor. Carl says, Lossell, Sidibe, Mina, Feeney, Baines, Davis, Holgate, Gordon, Bernard, Richarlison and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Kean is very good, however he is slow and so is Mina, so they don't work. Fair point. Well, I guess there's no better place to start really than going into my predicted starting 11. So I've gone for Jordan Pickford in goal. I've gone for Luca Dean at left back. Now again, Carlo Ancelotti didn't specifically state whether Luca Dean would be fit. The only sort of injury news we've had regarding players is that Alex Iwobi is out for this game. He's going to spend some time on the sideline. He did go off, obviously, against Arsenal very early on into the game, about 15 minutes into the game with a hamstring problem. He is being confirmed out for this game on Wednesday. It's Boxing Day, so I keep forgetting the name of the day. I keep forgetting what day it is. And Morgan Schneiderlin's still out as well. So we don't really know what's going on with Luca Dean at the minute. Leighton Baines, obviously, again, was solid. Over the last couple of weeks when he's been asked to step in. So I'm going to go for Luca Dean with the view that he's fit and he's back willing, obviously ready to play. If not, then it will be Leighton Baines. I've gone for a centre-back partnership of Mason Holgate and Yerry Mina. Again, I think they've been absolutely fantastic recently, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. Michael Keane has struggled whenever he's had to come in. And Mason Holgate over the last 2 or 3 weeks has played both centre-half and central midfield and has done both roles really, really well. So I've gone for Mason Holgate and Yerry Mina at centre-half, Jabril Sidibe at right back again. Come back in obviously last week and performed quite well. Gone for the midfield 3 of Tom Davies, Fabian Delph and Gylfi Sigurdsson, given that Alex Iwobi is out. We haven't got many midfielders, to be perfectly honest with you. Obviously Fabian Delph coming off last week, dare say it was probably just a little bit of a precautionary thing. He's probably not ready to play 90 minutes yet. Davis obviously again pretty solid last week. Okay, struggled on the ball a little bit as he has done at times this season, but overall I think he's had a solid start to the season. And Gylfi Sigurdsson in the 10, which again, or not in the 10, sorry, it's a 4-3-3 formation, just the pitch isn't long enough to show a 4-3-3 formation, so he's not in the 10, he's in centre midfield. Again, I'm not necessarily the happiest having Gylfi Sigurdsson in there, because I think Gylfi Sigurdsson once again was quite poor last weekend against Arsenal. I think he spent an awful lot of time, pretty much too much time, pointing at other players and where to be, and you could argue that okay, that's what your captain's meant to do, and your captain's meant to lead, and your captain's meant to instruct other players. But for me, Gylfi Sigurdsson should focus a little bit more on where he needs to be. Spending 28 minutes without touching the ball in the Merseyside derby. Okay, he come back in against Chelsea and he performed well, but again, last week against Arsenal, obviously Duncan Ferguson's last game in charge, Carlo Ancelotti in the stands, you'd think that he put in a similar, if not better, performance than the one against Chelsea a couple of weeks back before he got the illness, but he didn't. He was back to the Gylfi Sigurdsson that we used to seeing under Marco Silva, slow, lackadaisical, not really running for the ball, not really trying to win the ball, just staying out of the game as much as he can, and I'm not really happy with that. But at the end of the day, we've pretty much got no midfielders. Jean-Philippe Gbamin's still out, injured. Andre Gomez is still out injured. Fabian Delph's only just coming back in. Alex Iwobi's now out injured, so you pretty much, you've only got a couple of midfielders to stick in really. So it's guaranteed that Gylfi Sigurdsson's going to get a game almost. And I've gone for a front 3 of Richarlison, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and Moisés Kean on the right. Now listen, again, I think Dominic Calvert-Lewin pretty much picks himself. Really, really solid game when he need against Arsenal. Didn't do an awful lot because, again, I think he was really, really tired. But I think that's excusable for the fact that, 2 man-of-the-match performances against Chelsea and Manchester United on the bounce. A decent performance against Leicester as well in midweek. And then, yes, okay, he didn't have an awful lot to do and he didn't do an awful lot against Arsenal. But you can understand that the level of tiredness that the lad's got because of how well he's played over the last couple of weeks. Richarlison, again, very, very similarly, was ill. Or on the pitch, I believe, and in the changing room during the Arsenal game. But again, hopefully he shrugged that off. He's been in the Christmas video today, all smiles, all happy with his Christmas trumpet on. So hopefully that was just a little bit of an illness that he's surpassed. There's no news or there's no rumour that he's out or he's due to be injured. So hopefully he's back in. And then I've gone for Moisés Kean on the right. I put Moisés Kean in again. I predicted Moisés Kean to start the game against Arsenal and he didn't, and obviously Duncan Ferguson, went with a little bit of a different starting 11, Alex Iwobi in there, and he didn't even come off the bench when Iwobi was, obviously was taken off. Again, we spoke about it in the game review yesterday. If you haven't seen the game review to the Arsenal game, go and check that out. We spoke about the Cenk Tosun substitution in the Cenk Tosun situation because, again, Tosun was a player that come on as a substitute and then was taken off, which I thought was the right decision to take him off. I don't necessarily think it was the right decision to bring him on in the first place, especially when you've got the likes of Bernard and you've got the likes of Moisés Kean on the bench. Now again, would you say Moisés Kean should come in and start on the right, or would you say Bernard should be there, or maybe just put Gylfi Sigurdsson over there or Calvert-Lewin over there? I don't know, but for me, I think Bernard should have started against Arsenal, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. I didn't predict it, but I think looking back, he definitely should have come on for Cenk Tosun. But one thing that I've really took out of Carlo Ancelotti's press conference and the interviews that he's had with journalists is that he really favours Moisés Kean. Moisés Kean's a player that Carlo Ancelotti likes. He wanted to sign him when he was at Napoli, and he's a player that obviously he's looked closely with and is looking forward to working closely with, due to obviously the Italian connection. He speaks the same language as Moisés Kean, which is something that we know has been a problem since the lad's come to Everton, is that communication issue, and can he properly communicate with his teammates and his backroom staff. And I think this would be a real confidence boost for Moisés Kean if Carlo Ancelotti comes in and says, right, okay, I'm going to start on the right hand side, let's see what you can do on the right hand side, and then we'll work with you where you need to go into the centre, whether you need to stay on the right. But at the end of the day, I think it'd be a bit silly for Dominic Calvert-Lewin to be taken out of this team. So unless Carlo Ancelotti's planning on playing two strikers up front, which I don't think he will. I think he will play a 4-3-3. I would think that if Moisés Kean is going to be in this team, it would be on the right hand side. And like I said, I'm purely basing that off the way he's spoken about the player in the last week or so, or in the last couple of days since he's joined the club, and the way he's spoken about the player previously, before he became manager of Everton and before Moisés Kean became a player for Everton Football Club. So I think Carlo Ancelotti will have looked at Moisés Kean very closely over the last couple of days and saying, and we'll look at Moisés Kean again very closely tomorrow, and make that decision as to whether to play him. But I've predicted that he will put him in, because again, he'll want to see what he's about, because we haven't seen an awful lot of Moisés Kean, let's be honest, in an Everton shirt. And okay, granted, what we've seen of him hasn't been brilliant and hasn't been fantastic, but you could argue whether he's had a fair opportunity or not. I'm not too sure. I'm just going to tweet the scene out so everybody on Twitter knows that we are live. If you are watching live, big thank you for taking your time out of your Christmas Eve night. I know you can be watching The Grinch now, or Home Alone, or any other Christmas film, Die Hard, which is a Christmas film. I'm going to open that to debate, but it is. And I know you're taking your time out of your day to come and watch me talk about Everton and ramble about Boxing Day, which is a game totally after Christmas Day. So I do really do appreciate all of the support and all of the time taken out to come and watch and listen to us. If you're not enjoying, by the way, please do hit that like button. It means a massive amount to me. And if you're new to the channel as well, please do subscribe. It only takes a second. So yeah, that's my predicted starting 11. Let me know your thoughts on it in the comment section down below. Again, it's going to be really interesting to see how Carlo Ancelotti sets out his team. It's going to be really interesting to see the players and the personnel that he chooses to use, because obviously we've got nothing really to go off. Carlo Ancelotti's managing his first game for Everton. We've never seen him manage this set of players. He's only worked with this set of players for a number of days. So it is going to be really interesting to see which formation he uses, the personnel that he chooses to use as well. Obviously he's only got limited numbers of players due to injuries. His midfield pretty much picks itself, doesn't it? Similarly with the defence. But it'll be interesting, especially to see who he plays up front, who he plays in the front three. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on it in the comment section down below. Let's get back into the comments now. Let's read some of your comments. Bear with me just 2 seconds. Where was I? Carl says, apparently we're going for Egan from Sheffield United. Hope we get him. Class defender. Hope we get him. Fair point. I haven't seen the rumour yet, but I'll definitely have a little look at it. Jack says, I watched your stream yesterday. Thank you very much, Jack. Paul says, what about Moyes? Don't you think he needs a chance? That's why I put him in the predicted starting 11. Carl says, Laser will play. Apparently the board are angry with Pickford with his antics the other day. I don't think it's the board's fault. And again, I want to touch on that. I didn't touch on it yesterday, and there wasn't a specific reason why I didn't touch on it, to be honest. I forgot about it. But there's been a video that's been circulating the internet over the last couple of days of Jordan Pickford out with his friends, seemingly enjoying himself, watching the darts. I think Michael Keane was also, watching the darts and with him, in that night. And it's basically a video of Jordan Pickford amongst a group of people being filmed by somebody who's obviously recognised him in the crowd, down and a pint. Well, I say down, and it's a very poor attempt to drink a pint quickly. I'm not the biggest drinker, and I'm not known for my ability to down pints, because quite frankly I'm a lightweight. But it's a video of him, let's say, attempting to try and down a pint quickly. He doesn't. He takes about 35 seconds to do it, which is poor. But anyway, he does it. He puts the plastic cup down, plastic glass down, whatever it is, stands on a chair and gives it the big, I am, which is, what we're used to seeing Jordan Pickford doing, aren't we? Let's be honest with you. Jordan Pickford, makes a save and turns and smiles at the crowd. We're used to that type of ego from him. I've got no issue with the video, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. I see this video as Jordan Pickford, who is a human being, going out with his friends, having a laugh with his friends, down in a pint, which we'd all do. A lot of us will have gone on Christmas nights out this year. A lot of us will have gone on Christmas nights out, in previous years, and done I dare say a lot worse than down a pint and put your glass down and put your arms out as if you're the big I am. And for me, that's pretty much all I see it is Jordan Pickford doing that, and I don't necessarily have an issue with Jordan Pickford doing that, to be perfectly honest with you, because I think it's, he's not doing anything malicious, he's not hurting anybody, he's not disrespecting anybody. A lot of people saying he's representing the football club. Well, okay, he is representing the football club, but there's even the argument to say he's in his spare time, he can do what he wants, but even if he is representing the football club, he's not doing anything specifically wrong. So yeah, it's a bit of an ego thing because he throws his arms out, and I think he lashes the cup as well, but it's silly, isn't it? And I think maybe the club will pull him aside and think again, watch what you're doing in public maybe in the future, because of the situations that have happened previously around, you're famous basically, and people are going to get the camera out and film you and take pictures of you. But I really don't think Jordan Pickford's doing anything wrong in that video whatsoever. I just see a lad that's gone out on his Christmas night out with some of his pals, including one of his teammates, and had a little bit of a laugh with his pals and down the bevy. And I don't think we can really, we can stop football players from doing that. At the end of the day, the young men, they're enjoying their lives and they're going out and they're having fun. What do we expect? Do we expect them to be in bed by 9 o'clock, tucked up with the idea of the next game constantly? At the end of the day, we weren't playing the day after. He wasn't massively out of his head. He just seemed like he was enjoying himself after we'd played. It was on Saturday night after obviously we'd played, meaning that he wouldn't play until Wednesday. So there's 4 or 5 days there for him to recover after down in 1 pint poorly, perfectly honest with you. So I don't really have any issue with it, to be honest. As long as Jordan Pickford's not doing that type of thing tomorrow night, or even tonight, for example, and you don't see a video emerge on Boxing Day of him at 6 o'clock in the morning strolling down absolutely pissed, then there's no issue with it. He's got to have his own life and he's going to go out and enjoy himself. Cal also says Moisés awful lot, we sell him, he doesn't deserve a chance. I disagree, but he hasn't done an awful lot with the opportunities he's had, I'll give you that. BG says he's only 19, give him some time, I agree. Wayne says I'm calling him Michael Bean from now on, or Mr. Bean, a better baller, hopefully until January the 1st. Wonder if Burnley would want him back. The fans will raise 10 million if he goes. Carl says, come on, Kean has been the worst signing in the country. We should want the best, not gambling with 19-year-old boys who cry when they don't get their own way. Fair point, and it'll be very, very interesting to see how Carlo Ancelotti reacts to Moisés Kean's performances and maybe potential attitude if he seems to have one. It'll be interesting to see how that works. Jack says, when is Gabamon back? Because he will soon win the spot of Delph. We don't know. It was rumoured to be January, February time, and then it was February, March. But, we don't know yet. At the end of the day, we're still left in the dark about that. I'm not going to read that to you because it's quite frankly disgusting. Paul says, I don't know, guys, must have something for all that money. Sonny says, can't wait for JPG and Gomez to be back. Spot on, mate. And Cass, if you don't know if he's any good, that's a fair shout as well. Alex says, yes, Cam, yes, Alex, hope we're doing well. Wayne says, shouldn't we be sacking brands before January? Summer signings were wank. Only signed Gomez we knew about and no one else contributed a fart. He has come under a lot of criticism and rightly or wrongly so. I think a lot of it is rightly so, but we'll see how he works with Carlo Ancelotti, of course. Carl says, I doubt that half the team will be there next season, and tossing is poor, for a better word. Paul says, yes, Wayne, yes. BJ says, Bernardo's awful against Leicester, and Carl says, Bernardo's a much creative player. He genuinely is, and he was in really, really good form at the start of the season before he got that injury. Since he's had that injury, okay, granted, he hasn't had an awful lot of opportunities, but with the opportunities he's had, he hasn't done an awful lot with, in my opinion. Wayne says, it will be a waste of money. Gabamon will be a waste of money. Gomez don't score. Delph is a signal to Kean, a striker that ain't scored. Fair point. Carl says, hope Iwobi has been a flop. How is Iwobi being a flop? He's being class. Delph is being good when he plays. Wayne says, Paul Jones, smiley face. Carl says, Gomez is class, our best player. I agree, Gomez is class. Wayne says, Iwobi is poor, let's say. I think Iwobi's a player that has been on poor form, let's have it right. He's been poor for the last couple of games, but I think, for the first few games, I thought he was brilliant, so... Sonny says, is Ancelotti better than Klopp? Yes, he is. He's more proven. He's won more in his career. So, yes, he is. Carl says, Sonny, no one is. I disagree. Wayne says, overpaid, panic buy, poor man Zaha. Fair point. Rupert says, a proper 4-3-3, not a 4-5-1. It's a 4-3-3, like I said, it's just a pitch. Isn't long enough to fit a 4-3-3 on. Vince says, whose strikers worse than Kean on worst team staying in the starting lineup longer and eventually find their stable? Do you think Moisés Kean just needs long sessions of gameplay to come good? I would agree with that. I think, it's very difficult to judge a player on 10 minutes at the end of a game here and 5 minutes at the end of a game there, and then not playing the next week and then another 10 minutes at the end of the game. I think it's only fair that he gets a run in the team to really, really judge his ability, and I think that's what Ancelotti will give him. Carl says, Iwobi is a cam. He's playing left wing. He is a great in cam. I do agree with that. Robert says, who cares? Carl says, remember when everybody was saying Tosin was better than DCL? Yeah, he's not. Two says, Wayne, we should get Bauer. I totally agree. And Carl says, we need a winger in Bowen who does it in the Championship. Yeah, we need an awful lot of players, and let's be honest, we probably need another centre half, we probably need another centre midfielder, we maybe need another winger, we definitely need another creative player, and we definitely need a proven striker. But that's, I suppose, what Carlo Ancelotti's in for. He's going to assess the squad, he's going to decide what we need, and what we need is a matter of urgency, and maybe what can wait until the summer, and then we're going to the January transfer window with a plan. But anyway, yeah, before the January transfer window, listen, we've got a game. We haven't just got one game, we've got a couple of games. Obviously, we played the weekend as well, and then we play on New Year's Day. But we play Burnley firstly at Goodison Park on Boxing Day. A game that, again, like I said, we've had some of our, let's say, easiest wins against Burnley in the last couple of years. Obviously, most noticeably last Boxing Day, away from home, 5-1 victory, which was an absolutely fantastic win, an absolutely fantastic performance. At the time, we were in poor form. At the time, we were really struggling, and that win, again, it gave us that boost of confidence, and it was quite a surprising victory, I think, for a lot of Evertonians. But again, we've also struggled against Burnley at times. We've struggled notoriously away from home, at Turf Moor and at home as well. But it's a really, really exciting time to be at Evertonian. Burnley are a team that will come, will try and probably sit back and will try and give us the ball, and we know notoriously that when you give Everton the ball and you say to Everton, yeah, you take control of the game and you create opportunities, notoriously under the likes of Marco Silva and under previous managers, we haven't been able to do that. But we're now being managed by arguably one of the greatest managers to ever grace football, arguably the greatest manager still managing currently. So if we can't get playing when we're given the ball under Carlo Ancelotti, then who are we going to get playing under? Let's be perfectly honest. And I'm really, really looking forward to this game. I'm very, very excited. I can't wait for it. Really, really intrigued, like I said, to see how Carlo Ancelotti lines the team up, what formation he uses, what players he uses, etc., and how the players react as well to the first couple of days training with him. Whether they seem to think, wow, a little bit starstruck, like a lot of us are as fans. I still can't quite believe that Carlo Ancelotti is the Everton manager, or whether the players just get their heads down straight away and don't think too much about the man or his pedigree or where he's been before and what he's won before, and they just get their head down and focus on playing and focus on Burnley. And I do hope it is the latter, because at the end of the day, it's not really about Carlo Ancelotti's name or what he's won before or where he's been, what he's done in his career. It's about Everton Football Club now, and Carlo Ancelotti spoke very, very passionately in his press conference yesterday about getting Everton back to where we need to be, challenging in the Premier League and challenging for titles and consistently in the Champions League, even when he was hit with questions from absolute knobhead journalists like saying that we've got no chance and the club's got no glamour. He shut it down and said basically that nothing in football is impossible, and that's the aim and that's the goal, and that's the goal that everybody around Everton Football Club shares, and that's what we're going to look to do over the next couple of years. And it's a really, really positive time at the football club. Obviously going into the new year, got one of the best managers in world football, got a new stadium on the horizon as well. Really, really positive news. And obviously it all starts on Boxing Day. Listen, we haven't been in the greatest form this season, and we really, really do need the 3 points, because as much as there's a load of positivity around the club with Ancelotti coming in and with the new stadium, we still are sitting 15th in the Premier League, and we still really, really need a couple of wins to get us up there. And I understand a couple of wins will get us right up there competing for the top 6, top 7, etc. But at the end of the day, we need those couple of wins, don't we? Let's be perfectly honest. And it starts with Burnley. We've had a tough run of fixtures so far in December, a run of fixtures that I don't think many fans have said would have got the points that we've got from the likes of Manchester United, Chelsea, Arsenal. If you'd have said to us that we wouldn't lose any of those games, I think you'd probably fall off your chair. But we haven't. Duncan Ferguson's done an absolutely fantastic job. I thank Duncan Ferguson yesterday's live stream, and I'll thank him again because he's done an absolutely brilliant job with this squad. But listen, at the end of the day, we need to go out there and we need to beat the team that, you know, arguably we should be comfortably beating on paper, and that is Burnley, and let's hope that we do that on Boxing Day. Bear with me just 2 seconds, let's get back into the live comments. Wayne says, why'd you start Baines over Dean, mate? He couldn't take a corner last week. Yeah, you know, Dean, again, he struggled last week, Dean. I think he was still carrying a little bit of an injury, a little bit of a knock, to be honest, and that's why I'm hoping that he shrugged that off. I think he might have been rushed in a little bit too quickly. Obviously, he's had a couple of, you know, extra days rest and extra days training, so I would hope he shrugged that off. Abigail says, let's play Lazel, Sidibe, Kean, meaning and Baines. I don't think Lazel will play, if I'm being honest with you. Carl says, credit to Dunk, what a man, spot on. He also says Wayne Baines didn't play versus Arsenal. I think he's referring to Dean being poor. Abigail says Richarlison, Davis, Delph, Gordon, Kean and Calvert-Lewin. It'll be interesting to see where the likes of Anthony Gordon obviously fit in as well under Carlo Ancelotti, and whether they're still getting their opportunities on the bench. Wayne says, Toothy, he offers goals, he has a good shot, long shot, 23, pitch of a left foot, can take players on. Young would be a perfect fit with Charlton on the other side of the pitch. Carl says, Cam, I bought the Everton gear you have on, getting it tomorrow. It is right, mate, happy days. Hernandez says, hopefully Ancelotti can get a good reaction from Sigurdsson. Burnley are going to sit in their half. We need our quality to cut through the back line. Yeah, like I said, Burnley are a team that are going to come to Goodison Park, Boxing Day, and are going to think, you know what, we'll take a point out of this game, and we're going to try and sit back, allow us all the ball, and hope that they may get 1 or 2 opportunities on the counter, and hope that they can, you know, make the most of that. And I think that's why, A, we need to be spot on and we need to be glued on defensively, but B, we need to be able to break that down and we need to be able to play good football. And like I said, I wouldn't be confident going into this game under a Marco Silva who has proven that he can't manage Everton, he can't manage against teams that give us the ball and sit back and say, right, you would do all the work. But obviously with under Carlo Ancelotti now, it's a whole new era, it's a whole new time at the football club, so I am confident going into this game. Jack says, I agree, Leicester won the league. Carl says, Wayne, it's Richarlison and Bowen. It's a pointless saying. We literally have Richarlison who's better on the wing. Wayne Pillen says, looking forward to see any changes, take time, but at least we're at this point at last. Spot on, mate. At least we've got a proven winner, a serial winner at the football club at last, after too many mediocre managers that have, you know, not proven anything. Carl says, nah, joking, I think 4-0 Richie with 3. I'll absolutely take that. Happy days, mate. Mark Denark says, hopefully we can get a push on under this fella now, Cam. Yeah, hopefully, mate. It's about time, isn't it? We need to really start putting our foot down and saying this is where we want to be. We want to be fighting with the top 6. We want to be getting in and around the Europa League, Champions League position. So that's how we're going to do it. Ziad says, Christmas Eve and I just can't take life anymore. It just gets worse. I'm really sorry to hear that. Please do talk, speak out about whatever's going on, whether it be to a family member, to a friend, to me. My DMs are always open on Twitter at MightyBluesYT. Get in my DMs, come and have a little message, and we'll have a conversation and we'll talk constantly. I'm always here to talk, so I really do apologise that you're feeling like that, but I promise you, mate, it does get better. It really does get better. Network Michael D put a video out yesterday about how he's there for all fans as well, so, you know, drop me a message, drop him a message, and we'll both be there to speak to you about it. And you know, like I said, we all go through tough times. I've gone through some real tough times very recently, but it does get better, I promise you. Wayne says, Carl Blundell, 52 goals in 126 games is why you probably rate Walcott, as well as he scored 1 in 8. Wayne says, I don't rate Walcott. Carl says, I don't rate Walcott, and Bowen scored in the Championship against pathetic teams. Ziad says, at least you're happy, Cam. Good to see others in a good mood, living a good life. And you should be too, mate. You should be too. And like I said, please do drop me a message on Twitter, or you know, any other type of social media. If you drop me a message on Twitter, you know, we can talk on the private Twitter, we can talk in DM, so obviously nobody sees it, but please do drop me a message if you're feeling like that, and we'll just talk. Maybe we'll. Eric says, I know you're positive about Ancelotti, but it has failed in his last 2 jobs. I'm just scared that we got in too late. Wouldn't call him one of the best managers in the world right now. You know, and there is that fear, there is that worry. However, listen, you know, I think he's the most successful manager Everton have ever had in terms of his CV and what he's won, and there is going to be that worry and there is that sort of stance on it, but you know, I think we have to try our best to look past that. Wayne says, Carl, so did Kale. Joel says 3-0 Everton, keen to score, hopefully. Jack says, pray to God Everton will win and also tonight gets quicker. Carl says, Wayne, that's when we accept the average football, we should want the best. Carl says, in the words of Cam, get in my DMs, what a lad. Yeah, listen, get right in the DMs and we'll have a conversation, mate. Wayne says, nothing Kale did was average. Carl says, Bowen will flop in my opinion. And Wayne says, how old are you? 10? Listen, Carl's a good fan. Carl's a good fan. Let's not get critical in the comments now, Cal's 17, but why go for the Championship play when we have Charleston and Bernardo wingers who are better than him? And it's a very, very good point. It is a very fair point, but I do see the point about Bowen as well. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's live stream. If you have enjoyed, please do hit that like button. Once again, a massive, massive thank you for all of your support, not only today, not only yesterday, but all through the year. It's been absolutely unbelievable, and I can't thank you enough. Like I said, I'll have a little bit of a Christmas message out tomorrow, just thanking everybody and talking about my appreciation for all of you. But a big, big thanks once again for getting involved in today's live stream. A massive thanks to everybody in the live comments. It really, really does mean a massive amount to me. And if you haven't already, please do hit that like button as well. Get the live stream shared to all of your friends, all of your family. Let's get as many people in as possible. If you haven't already as well, please do subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second. And, you know, please do follow us on Twitter as well, at MightyBluesYT, if you haven't already. Listen, I'll speak to you on Christmas Day, obviously, in video form, but I won't speak to you live, so I hope that you all have an absolutely fantastic Christmas Day filled with joy. Remember, it's all about spending time with family, spending time with friends, and just enjoying yourself tomorrow, and being safe as well. If you're going out, if you're travelling to see family, then please, please do be safe as well. It really, really does. You know, it means a lot to me, and it means a lot to everybody that you stay safe tomorrow day, because it can get a little bit manic. And a fantastic New Year as well. Obviously, listen, I'll speak to you all multiple times before New Year. Everton play about 7,000 times before New Year's Day, so I'll speak to you all before then. But a big, big thanks for everybody for getting involved today, as per usual. Like I said, I'll have a little Christmas message out tomorrow for you to watch if you get a spare 5 minutes in your day. I assume that 99.9% of you won't get a spare 5 minutes, but if you do, it'll be there to watch if you want. But a big, big thanks for watching today, as usual. Wayne says, yeah, Bernard's prolific, ain't he? Not a goal scorer, but I think he's a fantastic creator. Cal says, yeah, but look how we lack creativity without Bernard. Wayne says, it's nice and refreshing that for so long we laughed at by the red and white shite. There's to hope there is. Yeah, says Colin Ancelotti's brightening me up a bit, but life is unbearable. School and home, it's depressing. Like I said, drop me a message, mate. Please, please do drop me a message and we'll talk about it, because I know full well how school can be stressful and how life can be stressful as well, as I'm sure a lot of people do. And you know, Carlo Ancelotti should be brightening you up, and hopefully Everton brighten you up with a good performance on Boxing Day. Hernandez says, Merry Christmas, Cam, and all Evertonians. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you. Carl says, if you're going for a winger, I want Thorgan Hazard as he's leaving Dortmund. And Wayne says, Merry Christmas Blues, peace, new era Boxing Day. Spot on, mate, absolutely spot on. Jack says, what time for the video on Christmas Day? Let's say 12 midday. I'll have recorded it and uploaded it before then, so I'll throw it up on 12 midday. Dosbig says, have a great Christmas, Cam. Thanks for your work for us. No problem, mate. Listen, the channel, it's been an absolutely fantastic year for me in the channel, and it's only going to get better. I've got loads of content planned for the new year, loads more stuff, new stuff coming every single week. So please do stay subscribed if you've subscribed, and you know, if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. Ziad, I'm not going to read that and I'm going to hide it, you know, because it's a little bit touching, but please don't feel like that. Reach out if you're in the UK, if you're in Liverpool, reach out to the Samaritans, reach out to Talk Liverpool, reach out to your GP and just talk. I promise you, I really do promise you, once you talk about things and once you let it all out, you will feel better. And like I said, get in my Twitter DMs now. Drop me a DM on Twitter. If you haven't got Twitter, make an account. It literally takes 5 seconds, 10 seconds. Make an account, get in my DMs, and we'll talk, mate. Because, you know, that, I promise you, it really does get better. Cal says, have a good Christmas, pal. Keep making the Blues proud. Up the fucking toffees. Thank you very much, Cal. Really do appreciate that one. And yeah, big thanks to everybody for watching. If you have enjoyed, leave a like. Like I said, thanks for everybody in the live comments. If you're watching as a YouTube video, leave your comments in the comment section down below, and I'll get into them and reply to as many of them as possible. Big thanks for watching. Please leave a like if you have enjoyed. Ziad, get in me DMs, and we'll have a conversation. Please drop me a message. Wayne says, all the best, Cam. Thank you very much. All the best, Wayne. Really do appreciate all the support. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow for a quick message, and then obviously Boxing Day for the instant match reaction. Come on, you Blues. Massive game. Let's go out there and get the 3 points and start Carlo Ancelotti's era off on a positive note. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.